It is Tuesday, the first day of April 2026. Hello there and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV. First though, let's have a look at our top stories.
The news headlines are brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Tonight, President Museveni hosts World Bank delegation to discuss national development priorities. Government to compensate Bulambuli landslide victims with 10 million Ugandan shillings and 2 acres of land. Fuel supply remains stable. Authorities maintain there is no immediate cause for alarm. And 191 children defiled by known HIV-positive perpetrators. That is according to the police crime report.
Brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Senyomu Yusuf and I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma. President Museveni today hosted a high-level delegation from the World Bank at State Lodge, Nakasero, in a meeting focused on advancing Uganda's strategic development priorities. The delegation was led by Kimiao Fan, Division Director for Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia and Uganda, and included Francisca Ayodeji Akala and Tonderai Fadzai Mukono Weshuro. Also in attendance were key government officials, including the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, the Attorney General, Kiriowa Chiwanuka, and the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, among others. During the discussions, President Museveni welcomed the World Bank's commitment to support the development of the standard gauge railway, both through financing and technical assistance in structuring sustainable funding mechanisms. He emphasized that the railway is a critical investment for reducing transportation costs and strengthening regional connectivity. The President further underscored the importance of affordable electricity, access to low-cost financing, and efficient transport systems as fundamental drivers of sustained economic growth. He also expressed appreciation for the World Bank's proposed support toward agricultural industrialization, noting its potential to enhance value addition and boost rural incomes. President Museveni commended the World Bank for its continued partnership with Uganda and its broader commitment to promoting shared prosperity and inclusive global development. Canon Matthew Ruchikaire, a former Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, has been installed as the second Chancellor of Kabale University. The ceremony was presided over by the Vice President Jessica Alupo, representing President Yoweri Museveni at Kikunjiri campus in Kabale district. Ruchikaire succeeds Professor George Mondo Kagonyera, who has served an 8-year term since Kabale University transitioned from a private institution to a public university in 2015. While addressing the congregation during the enrobing ceremony, the Vice President urged the new Chancellor to use his vast leadership and management experience to steer the university to greater heights.
Chancellor, I now declare Canon Matthew Ruchikaire the newly installed Chancellor of Kabale University. A hand of applause.
Present this folder to the new Chancellor so that he can read and know what this university has achieved.
I expected a hand of applause, my dear friend, and a relation. Thank you very much.
To extend warm congratulations to Canon Matthew Ruchikaire
upon your installation as the second chancellor of Kabale University. I pray for success during your tenure as you provide general oversight over the academic, financial, and administrative operations of the university. I trust that you will utilize your vast experience in leadership and management to steer the university to greater heights of excellence. The university is receiving a competent and patriotic leader with a proven track record of excellence, integrity, and hard work. I would like to use this occasion to thank Professor George Mondo Kagonyera for his excellent service. He played a pivotal role in the transition period. He has left a print in the growth and stability of the university.
It's not simply a personal honor. It represents a solemn opportunity to join hands with the leadership of Kabale University in executing its vision to become a sustainable and vibrant university of academic excellence in the Great Lakes region and beyond, and to vigorously advance its mission to be a center of excellence in the teaching, research, and community engagements, and to serve the socio-economic transformation of Uganda and the East African region.
Now, Uganda's fuel supply remains stable despite ongoing global oil market disruptions triggered by tensions in the Middle East. This, according to a government statement issued on March 30th, 2026.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, working with the Uganda National Oil Company, said the country had sufficient fuel reserves to meet a short-term demand. As of March 27th, Uganda held about 81 million litres of petrol, 80 million litres of diesel, and 18.5 million litres of Jet A1 fuel, translating roughly 3 to 4 weeks of supply cover. Authorities also confirmed that additional shipments are expected through EPO via Kenya's Mombasa port and Tanzania's ports of Tanga, Dar es Salaam, and Mtwara. These deliveries are projected to significantly boost reserves, extending fuel cover by several weeks and reinforcing supply security.
As I speak right now, we have vessels that are docking, or that are rather offloading at the port of Mombasa. And over the next period of, over the next few weeks, the next 3 weeks, we're going to have fuel that will be coming in to support us in the country. And in this, we're talking about 195 litres of petrol, we're talking about 155 litres of diesel, and about 24 million litres of Jet A fuel. That is to take us over a period of close to 52 days for petrol, 44 days for diesel, and equivalent to about 39 days for Jet A.
The reassurance comes amid heightened global uncertainty following disruptions along the Strait of Hormuz, a key oil transit route that handles about 20% of global oil consumption. Analysts say that the prolonged instability in the region could tighten global supply and push prices upwards.
Amidst that, there are also alternative sources. We have areas like Singapore, and I think the States. This could be some of the reasons the prices have not yet skyrocketed to what people expect them to the limits people expect them to. So I think UNOC has alternatively used these source for the product, and has hence the stability in the prices that we now see. But needless to say is that the prices at a point in time will surely rise. If you look at our daily consumption rates.
Energy market watchers note that while Uganda's inland supply chain appears resilient in the short term, the country remains exposed to the global price volatility. International oil prices have shown signs of fluctuation in the recent weeks, driven by geopolitical tensions, shipping risks, and currency pressures in the emerging markets. Locally, the pump prices could still be affected by external factors such as foreign exchange rates and international market movements, despite stable physical supply. Wadulo and Oldmark in Kampala.
Uganda's Premier Robina Nabanja has urged landslide victims from Bulambuli district to use government funds to build permanent homes and avoid returning to high-risk areas. She made the call while launching Phase 2 of the resettlement program in Kwen district, where 101 households have each been allocated 10 million shillings and 2 acres of land in the Greek River area.
For years, communities in the Mountain Elgon sub-region have been plagued by deadly landslides, leaving a trail of destruction, loss of property and lives. The government of Uganda, through the Office of the Prime Minister, is implementing a long-term relocation program for people living in high-risk landslide zones on the slopes of Mountain Elgon. Over 12,000 households from the Elgon sub-region are targeted for resettlement. The 2024 landslide disaster claimed 49 lives and displaced more than 12,000 people in Bulambuli district, prompting government to temporarily resettle victims at Bunambusie camp. Now, government has launched Phase 2 of the resettlement plan and cash transfer program, targeting 101 households at high risk of landslides in the Mountain Elgon sub-region. The beneficiaries are being relocated to Greek River sub-county in Kweni district. Under the scheme, only families that surrendered their land to the Uganda Wildlife Authority after the landslide are eligible to receive 10 million shillings and 2 acres of land in the resettlement area.
People whom we are resettling are those that we had in our camps in Bunambutie. So today we are giving them the 10 million shillings that will be sent through World Bank to their accounts. And we've already done all the verifications, and this will be the second phase. But the third phase also is beginning immediately, because we are doing this concurrently with the data that we have collected across. According to Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, government has already acquired 1,318 acres, situated on 3 plots to resettle affected households.
So far, the government has acquired 1,318 acres of land, and that is plot 756, plot 757, and plot 805, where we are gathered today to launch this resettlement exercise.
Nabanja urged the beneficiaries to use the 10 million shillings to build permanent homes in line with the government's resettlement objective.
Abasooka okujja ennyumba ze bazimbye n'emitwalo 3 teziriimu, ate nga government yabawadde million meka 10. And so mwe abagenda okufuna sente olwaleero tugenda kubatambulirako. Ekisooka million 10 osobolera ddala okuzimba ennyumba etegerekeka. Osobola yadde tosobola kugimala nnyo, naye at least omuntu wabeera. Eri bazimbye ennyumba za ssubi ezimu nzirabye za million 10 nzirabye eyo, kuba bwe tuba tujja ate wano nti nabo babo.
Some of the beneficiaries have expressed deep gratitude to the government for the support, describing it as a lifeline after the devastating landslides.
I think government has done good to run for us. It is giving us the land and the house. It's so much the better. Otherwise, we have been there for 1.5 years, just staying there, eating kaunga.
Affected by mudslide, and the team came to verify where we come from. So they came, we were brought to Bulambuli. We have stayed there for a long time, but unfortunately we have reshuffled to this place. We hope we are going to get our 10 million and 2 acres of land so that we can change our lifestyle.
The annual crime report of Uganda Police Force reveals alarming figures on child abuse in Uganda. According to the report, 191 children were defiled by suspects known to be HIV positive. Nasir Abdul Wama has more on that story.
Police data indicates that a total of 10,492 defilement cases were reported in 2025, compared to 12,312 cases in 2024, reflecting a 14.8% decrease. Of these cases, where 7,019 were classified as a simple defilement, while 3,473 were classified as aggravated defilement. Out of the reported cases, 4,886 were taken to court. However, efforts to fair justice remain limited, where 713 resulted in convictions, 27 acquittals, 355 cases were dismissed, 3,791 cases are still pending in court, 1,932 cases were not proceeded with, 3,674 cases remained under inquiry. Police further revealed that 4,999 suspects were arrested and charged to court. Among these, 740 were convicted, 27 were acquitted, 332 were discharged, 3,900 suspects are currently undergoing trial. The crime report reveals that 191 children were defiled by suspects known to be HIV positive, while 94 were defiled by teachers, and 65 children were defiled by their own guardians.
Related offences, a total of 8,064 cases constituted child-related offences, indicating a 14.3% decrease compared to 9,408, which was reported in 2024.
The report says these figures point to continued vulnerabilities among children, especially within homes and schools. Abdul Nasser Lubwama and Regana Humza for UBC.
The Minister for Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, has revealed that more than 300,000 leaders have failed to declare their assets over the past 2 years. He warns that non-compliance is a violation of the law and will attract penalties. The remarks were made during the launch of the April 2026 Declaration of Income, Assets and Liabilities for Public Officers held by the Inspectorate of Government here in Kampala. Public servants have now been urged to declare their assets before the 30th of April to avoid sanctions.
The Inspectorate of Government has officially launched the April 2026 declaration exercise alongside a user guide to the Leadership Code Act aimed at improving compliance. Minister Muruli Mukasa says public trust in public servants currently stands at just 47%.
And that's a point of concern. So as you're moving around, people say, Ugandans have a way of saying, hasn't said anything, but, that is serious. It should change. People, she was here talking loud and so on. I was just listening.
He expressed concern over the continued failure by thousands of leaders to declare their assets as required by law.
Now it is obligatory for all public officers, not just senior leaders. It's very good. And I think we commend the IGG and all those people who have championed this leadership code. They're all to make sure that everybody really should declare.
The Deputy Inspector General of Government, Patricia Chano-Kiria, emphasized that failure to declare assets is a breach of the Leadership Code Act.
We have said we're using the IG online declaration system. You go to the IG website, which is provided there in www.igg.go.ug, and then you select declaration, and then you select the relevant category, specified officer, you fill in the form and print and submit.
Justice Aisha Naruze commended the collaboration between the Leadership Code Tribunal, the Uganda Law Reform Commission, and the Inspectorate of Government in developing the user guide.
During the declaration period, our teams will remain available to provide technical support to any public officer who may encounter challenges. We are committed to ensuring that no one is left behind during this exercise.
The chairperson of the Leadership Code Tribunal, Roslyn Karugonjo Segawa, says the guide will simplify and clarify the obligations of leaders and public officers.
Violations or breaches of the Leadership Code Act lead to sanctions, which are imposed by the Leadership Code Tribunal. I can assure you we've been imposing these sanctions, and potential penalties include, but are not limited to, fines, caution, warning, demotion, confiscation of assets.
Meanwhile, the head of public service, Lucy Nachovi, has called for greater transparency and accountability in the declaration process.
And as you continue, I want to pray that you concentrate or you focus more on the prevention.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Now, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, has officially launched the National Coffee Farmers Empowerment Program in Kigezi Sub-Region at Ruchika District. The event, which was fully organized by the State House Local Content Unit, led by Hajat Amina Mukalazi, is aimed at boosting coffee production and improving household incomes through training, access to seedlings, and value addition. We have more in this story.
The launch kicked off with training sessions focused on modern coffee farming practices. Residents were encouraged to prioritize coffee growing as a key driver of economic transformation in the district. Speaking at the event while delivering the President's message, the Vice President reaffirmed government's commitment to ensuring that coffee value chains are fully developed and implemented across the country.
The NRM government continues to prioritize the coffee sector because of its significant contribution to economic growth and foreign exchange earnings and livelihoods of millions of many households involved in the coffee value chain. The government has taken the following interventions to boost coffee production in the country. Firstly, scaling up the distribution of quality coffee seedlings and inputs across the country through Operation Wealth Creation.
She also called on farmers to continue supporting NRM activities and initiatives and appreciated the State House Local Content Unit and Compass for their role in empowering farmers.
I would like to thank all of you, the people of Ruchika, the people of Kigezi, for the overwhelming victory that you accorded His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and all the NRM candidates at all levels. We thank you very sincerely and we don't take it for granted.
Hajat Amina Mukalazi, the Special Presidential Advisor and also State House Local Content Unit Head, noted that coffee growing is a sustainable pathway to wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
We are going to duplicate it all over the country so that all Ugandans benefit from this program. And also, when all Ugandans are awake and then they want to, they've embraced this program, we are going to set up machinery to have value addition on these products.
She urged residents to fully commit to coffee farming.
Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to urge these people in front of you, especially the farmers, to embrace this opportunity fully, adopt the modern farming methods.
She further encourages farmers to embrace the opportunity and commended the President and the NRM government for the continued support towards coffee farmers across the country.
To our dear farmers to take good care of these seedlings, and the President is saying after that is done, he's going to attract investors to set up a value addition plant here on coffee and other seedlings.
The Vice President later flagged off the program alongside the distribution of coffee seedlings in a move aimed at empowering farmers and strengthening Uganda's coffee sector. Story compiled by Kenneth Tanava for UBC News.
We'll now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, kabalansi? Nkuwaire 15 Mama, nkuwaire 15.
Ompaire 15.
Abantu abakulu atandise obuyayi mwene.
Obuyayi obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko ba.
Sente dange nizade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
It's back, bigger, and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Government has intensified efforts to address water scarcity and sanitation challenges in Lango sub-region through the Sustainable Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene for All Project Phase 2. The project, implemented by SNV with support from the Austrian Development Agency, aims to expand access to clean water, improve sanitation and strengthen hygiene practices.
The Sustainable Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene for All Project Phase 2, being implemented in Lango sub-region, builds on the success of the first phase, which benefited over 300,000 people through improved sanitation and rehabilitation of water systems. Officials say the new phase will target at least 200,000 additional beneficiaries across communities and schools.
There are almost 6,000 boreholes fitted with hand pumps across the Lango sub-region. But behind that number is another reality, and one we don't talk about often enough. Many of those systems, built with the very best intentions and the very best goodwill at the time, are no longer doing the thing they were built to do.
The project will focus on rehabilitating aging water sources, upgrading boreholes to piped water systems, and expanding access in flood-prone areas.
Improved sanitation in Lango sub-region is still around 25%. I think that is a very, low coverage in terms of where we should be and in terms of what the SDGs, set out, and also in terms of what the development objectives for Uganda set out. So there is a lot to be done.
Sanitation facilities will also be constructed and improved in schools, with emphasis on inclusivity for persons with disabilities and menstrual hygiene management.
Meaning that we shall have the access ramps and support rails and many other things. And there will be a separate facility, the changing rooms and the washroom for the girl child. We shall also train the school children. There will be our change agents. They will capacitate them, the school health clubs. We shall work with local partners that are specialized in the area of innovation so that these people can make these reusable sanitary pads.
Because this project is going to contribute to climate resilient technologies within the water and sanitation sector in the region. It's going to contribute to improving water and sanitation in schools. It's going to contribute to improving clean water access within the communities.
Then we are scaling up community-led approaches, so that's the people. It comes from them. We don't bombard them that build up a toilet. It comes from them. We bring in the aspect of dignity, and then help comes also in. Then we can be able to do that.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The government of Uganda has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening technical and vocational education and training at TVET. This follows the release of the November-December 2025 assessment results by the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board, UVTAB. The results were officially released by the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataham-Seveni, who commended the board and stakeholders for ensuring the successful conduct of the national assessments.
To the Minister of State for Higher Education, Honorable Dr.
The 2025 TVET assessment results show a steady progress in Uganda's skills development, strong performance and increasing enrollment of learners. The Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board report shows that 158,940 candidates were assessed, with 27,460 registering for end-of-course examinations.
And we are noting that a total of 27,712 candidates registered for national certificate, craft certificate courses, and out of which 21,004 representing 92% turned up for assessment, while 1,708 representing 8% did not turn up for assessment. Overall, the male candidates dominated most of the courses registered by candidates, and compared to the national certificate in business fields, the male candidates dominated most of the courses registered by these candidates on this side.
While delivering the minister's message on behalf of Janet Kataham-Seveni, the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, told UBC about government commitment to extend more funding to TVET.
This funding will support the expansion of training facilities, will support the procurement of modern equipment. We are going to equip all our labs, workshops, whatever, and of course the development of innovative curricula aligned with industrial needs. Our money will go there.
State Minister for Primary Education Joyce Moriko Kaduchu commended all stakeholders from pre-primary to vocational institutions for their role in producing competent graduates ready for the world of work.
Our youth have been able to access skills that have expanded and reach even to the rural communities.
The UVTAB board chairperson, Dorothy Okello, noted that the board is strengthening partnerships with industry players to ensure assessments reflect real workplace demands.
The results show a narrowing gender gap in the fields of agriculture, home science, and business. Where we still have a large gap is within the technology education and training field. However, despite the gender gap, the results indicate that the females who enroll in TVET perform well and complete their studies.
Overall performance remained strong, with about 95% of candidates successfully completing their programs. Encouragingly, candidates with special needs recorded a 93% success rate, reflecting ongoing efforts towards inclusive education. As the country advances its Vision 2040 goals, stakeholders believe TVET will remain central in building a skilled, innovative, and productive workforce.
Sudat Kaye reporting there. Older persons have been urged to embrace regular medical checkups to improve their welfare. The call was made by Francis Anthony Rubowa, the chairperson of the Central Region Older Persons Association, CROPA, during a courtesy visit by the Joint Clinical Research Center. The visit aimed at strengthening collaboration with health workers to improve the health of older persons across Uganda.
The chairperson of Central Region Older Persons, Francis Anthony Rubowa, emphasized the importance of medical checkups in maintaining better welfare for older persons.
To form a team which can come and discuss with them so that they help us in a number of things because they are technical. And for us older people now, we need technical people to come and help us and work with us.
Honorable Chebakoze Sulaiman Madada, the Public Relations Officer of Central Region Older Persons, noted that for a long time, older persons have been neglected in key health areas.
The population of the older persons
have for a long time been neglected out of many of these issues. One, when you look at HIV/AIDS, the concentration is on the youth. But when you see, in terms of traditional birth attendants who are older persons, they can be infected by HIV/AIDS and they are normally left out.
The Presidential Advisor for Older Persons, Princess Nasolo Pauline, encouraged older persons to embrace smart farming as a source of income to improve their livelihoods and contribute to their better development.
From there, we found that we can be useful in the country when we found that mushroom is medicinal and we can grow it as old persons because it doesn't have a lot. And you can grow it on a small scale, on a smaller place, mainly those who are in a center with the small spaces.
Director of Research at Joint Clinical Research Center, Dr. Henry Mugera, advised older persons to continue collaborating with health workers to avoid self-medication.
We have about 2.5 million older persons in the country, and in the central region, it's about 500,000 of them. So they have visited us here at JCRC today to learn what we do, and also we learned from them. And we think we can do a lot together in terms of what are the issues that affect the older persons, what are things that as JCRC we can be able to address through research.
We'll take yet another short break, but when we return, we'll be looking at the latest in business.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution, or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone, or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at business news now. The National Social Security Fund, NSSF, has launched a nationwide livelihood program in Busale, Kayunga district, aimed at expanding social security coverage to Uganda's informal sector. The initiative provides local communities with shared production facilities, including sewing machines, fish processing units, and coffee equipment to boost productivity and improve household incomes.
The rollout of the Livelihoods program by the fund is set to extend to Shema, Mitoma and Lira districts following the successful integration of the project at a local vocational training institute in Kayunga. By establishing these common user facilities, the program offers a practical pathway for informal workers to save for the future while addressing challenges such as limited access to modern machinery and affordable financing.
Many of you lack equipment that can help you, facilitate you to expand your businesses and compete with the people in Kampala, with the people in Nairobi, with the people in Turkey, with the people in Guangzhou, in China. So when a machine like this is provided
through NSSF, it is to ensure that gaps that exist that can be a barrier for facilitating business is addressed through various entities, NSSF being one of them.
The project aligns with Government of Uganda's effort to industrialize the economy and support the majority of Ugandans who earn their livelihoods outside formal employment.
That we have to create a new arena for jobs. And this one is going to come through private investment. And how would a layman start a project? Is by getting this initial support.
According to the NSSF Managing Director, Patrick Ayota, the focus on vocational institutions reflects a shift toward prioritizing practical skills as a foundation for sustainable economic growth and financial resilience.
What's interesting is each community may want something different. Here is tailoring. We may find a group of young people who want welding machines. How do we organize them, bring a welding machine to them so they can be better welders and they make more money?
We are actually available and ready to support any sector that is organized, that wants to increase their productive capacity, to increase money that becomes available to them on condition that they are willing to save. That's why we even go backwards and teach you how to be financially literate, how to save, how to grow your money.
Community members are encouraged to utilize the new equipment to scale up their businesses, meet evolving market demands, and embrace long-term saving to secure their financial well-being. The initiative is seen as a stepping stone toward broader industrialization and inclusive economic growth across the country.
Dennis Sigoa reporting there. Now, the youth in Busoga sub-region are calling on government, the private sector and development partners to redesign agricultural programs to better respond to their needs. They say persistent systemic barriers continue to lock them out of meaningful participation in the agri-food economy. The concerns were raised during the Young Africa Works 2026 dialogue held in Jinja City.
The dialogue in Jinja, organized by the MasterCard Foundation, Haifa International and partners, brought together over 250 stakeholders, including policymakers, private sector actors and youth, to explore ways of building a more inclusive agri-food system.
So the purpose of this convening is to understand what we have done, to learn, to discuss with each other around how we can do this work better, deepen our impact and enable young people to take their place in society where they're delivering livelihoods for themselves, supporting their families, and also shifting the narrative of the communities in which they live.
Across Uganda, youth continue to face barriers in accessing finance, land, skills, quality inputs, and reliable markets. According to the Executive Director of the National Planning Authority, Joseph Muvawala, many existing interventions do not align with the realities faced by young people.
So every youth who has started an initiative, we must ensure that they do survive. I think time has come for us to rethink, because everything good is for the big people. Power, 5 cents to the big ones. The small ones, 17 cents. Where do the jobs come from? Where do the jobs come from? The small ones. But who is getting the incentive?
Currently, the MasterCard Foundation and Haifa International are implementing the Stimulating Agribusiness for Youth Employment SACCO program in Busoga. The initiative is a strategic investment aimed at creating meaningful employment opportunities for young people through agribusiness.
For say projects, they have helped us, get to market access, because most of the farmer groups that we are dealing with in Busoga region, they are from say projects. They provided, yes, Haifa International gave us funding for our product, but with say they gave us, access, like we sold our products to them.
We are also working on incubation. Very intelligent, some young Ugandan, young people from Busoga region, they want to start up an enterprise. but they don't have the skills. So we take them through an incubation pipeline so that they can know how to start, grow, and also strengthen your business so that it's more sustainable.
The 2024 Uganda Bureau of Statistics National Census indicates that 49.5% of youth in Busoga are not in employment, education, or training, with young women disproportionately affected at 54%. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
The Minister for Defence and Veteran Affairs, Jacob Maxon, has said that financial strength is a critical pillar of operational readiness, emphasizing that a financially secure force is more focused, more effective, and better able to serve the nation. While officiating at the Wazalendo SACCO AGM, Jacob Oboth advised the SACCO leadership to remain responsive to changes in the financial sector by strengthening digital financial services, enhancing financial literacy among members. Wazalendo SACCO has posted strong growth in its assets base, reinforcing its position as one of Uganda's leading savings and credit cooperatives as it marked 2 decades of operation. Figures released during the SACCO's 20th annual general meeting held at Gaddafi Barracks in Jinja showed that total assets increased to 1.4 trillion shillings, up from 1.1 trillion over the same period. In his message delivered by the Commander, Land Forces, Lieutenant General Kayanja Mhanga, the Chief of Defence Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, congratulated the SACCO on what he described as a major milestone in its journey.
To applaud you. As the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs, we take great pride in the SACCO's role in supporting the welfare of our officers, militants, veterans, and civilian staff. Financial stability is a critical pillar of operational readiness. A financially secure soldier is more focused, more effective, and better able to serve the nation. Allow me to commend the board and management for their stewardship over the past year. The growth in membership, expansion of loan products, and improved financial performance reflect sound leadership and prudent management. Equally important is the SACCO's continued emphasis on transparency, accountability, and member engagement. And to the leadership of Ugalo for you. However, as we celebrate these achievements, we must also remain mindful of the challenges ahead. The financial sector is evolving rapidly, driven by technology, changing customer expectations, and increasing competition. To remain relevant and resilient, Wazalendo SACCO must continue to be innovative. I therefore encourage the leadership to do the following. 1, strengthen digital financial services to improve accountability and convenience for members wherever they are deployed. 2, enhance financial literacy programs so that members can make informed decisions about saving, borrowing, and investing. 3, maintain strong risk management practices to safeguard members' saving. And 4, explore investment opportunities that will ensure sustainable growth and long-term stability.
We'll take a short break and then we return with sports news.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Uganda Health Professions Assessment Board notifies the public that the registration of health TVET candidates for June 2026 assessment commenced on the 11th of March 2026. Deadline for registration is 10th April 2026. As guided by the TVET law, the list of registered candidates for the June 2026 assessment series shall be displayed for viewing 30 days before the date for commencement of the national assessment. Lists of registered candidates shall be displayed for viewing 1 month before the national assessment.
Sports news now, and Buganda Kingdom has received a boost ahead of this year's Kabaka birthday run with a donation from Uganda Bati. The Kingdom's Prime Minister Charles Peter Mayiga has commended the company for its continued support, noting that such contributions play a key role in improving livelihood, especially through access to permanent roofing materials.
As preparations for the Kabaka birthday run gain momentum, Uganda Bati has contributed 10 million shillings to support this year's activities aimed at fighting HIV/AIDS. The Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, applauded the gesture, noting that such partnerships help uplift communities, especially by promoting access to durable roofing materials.
If you want to promote your culture, if you want to promote your heritage, you must focus on the economic side of things. You must focus on people, because culture is about the people.
He emphasized that collaborations like these play a key role in improving living standards across the kingdom.
I'm very, very glad to work with Uganda Bati in a number of areas. It will be a very good thing, and we see how, the partnership can uplift the lives of the millions of people for whom the kingdom exists.
The Chief Executive Officer Uganda Bati, George Arodi, said the company was inspired by this year's theme of ending HIV/AIDS, reaffirming their commitment to health and community well-being.
This Kabaka birthday run gives us an opportunity to be able to partner with the kingdom in terms of giving back on the element of the health, because it's something which is touching on the health. And one of the key things that we do as a business is that we appreciate that the government cannot be able to be involved and be able to involve in every sector of the economy, especially when it comes to the things which are touching on the health and all that. The government has tried the much that they can, but we believe that the private sector, like Uganda Bati, can also be able to give a hand in helping the government to be able to reach all the sectors of the country when it comes to giving to the community.
Uganda Bati also announced plans to extend support beyond the run, signaling long-term commitment to community development initiatives.
And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On Sign Language, it has been Senjamo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Kiijjanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But do not go away, because up next year on UBC TV is Super Soul Sisters with Jamila Oluka. And after that, at 10, we shall be getting behind the headlines with Timothy Nyangweso.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Total Energy has helped our groups. They support us to be trained in different scales like tailoring, baking,